My people, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to U&I Talk Show. Welcome back to U&I Talk Show, my people. Share the show today. I am not gonna be on camera. You're just gonna have to listen to my beautiful voice. This is how I started. This is how I started here at Talk Show on the radio. Oh man. And then people be like, oh, Louise, you're having too much fun. We need to see you. Well, today, my people, let's talk about the mercenaries show in Congo and how there are allegations that it was staged by the Kagamistan in Rwanda. Cinéma, ruse de guerre, stratégie du mensonge et du chaos. Yo, the Kagamistan in Rwanda, the rebel army RPF. He is the leader, was the leader that took over through fire by force, through violating all kinds of human rights, international rights. This is how the Kagamistan in Rwanda came to power, through blood, through spilling blood, and most importantly, as well, through lying in the international media. So, the story of the mercenaries that have surrendered to themselves and then they have to go back home, going through Rwanda because Rwanda is what? Rwanda is so humanistic, welcoming. Rwanda is what exactly? Rwanda is killing our fellow Africans in Congo. Millions. They have killed millions and millions of people in Congo. And then here they are pretending to be humanistic and allowing these Europeans to go back to Europe. And then we find out that even that, there's a lot of tricks and there's a lot of questions that need to be involved. So, first of all, let me tell you about the allegations. So, allegedly, that the Kagamistan in Rwanda had already corrupted so many of the mercenaries or so-called mercenaries in Congo and was already in touch with all of them. And then so all of a sudden, one day they decided to give them a phone call. So it's like the mercenaries were already collaborating with the Kagamistan, and you can see some of them exposing themselves, um, high-fiving the Rwandan army in Congo. Please, let's not even bother calling them whatever it is that they have invented as a name. It's the Kagamistan in Rwanda that has invaded Congo. It's the Rwandan army, Rwandan special forces. Look at them, look at them greeting each other. Get out of here. So you mean to tell me that one day, the Kagamistan had the contact of all the mercenaries in Congo and then called them up and was like, yo, get out of here, get out of here because we're about to do some crazy stuff. You better get out of here. And then they all were like, okay, yeah. We obey, we're gonna get out. Oh, they were already collaborating. And then so they gave them the signal, and these are allegations about Rwanda because all of them in the same time. And then there's also allegations that some of them are not even mercenaries. They have just been lumped up in the whole mercenary troops just to make it seem like a huge numbers. But we don't know. Nobody has checked any of these guys to know each and every one, and why exactly they were in Congo, and who exactly they were working for. And on top of that, just recently, the Kagamistan in Rwanda had actually given hints. He had actually given hints talking about, ooh, mercenaries are some of the most useless people to rely on. Ah, he had given hints, hinting that even if there were mercenaries in Congo, that since they were the most unreliable people to be used, the useless, that he can also corrupt them so that on any given day, he just gives them a signal and then all of them gather and go to Rwanda. Oh my goodness.
Mercenaries are the most useless people yes, you can rely on. So those countries relying on mercenaries, you just know they are in trouble. They have original problems before they brought mercenaries. And when they bring mercenaries, the problems are multiplied by a big factor. It gets worse, not better. Mercenaries are
You see, so he had hinted it, he had kind of given some sort of warning. So then he corrupts the mercenaries, and all of a sudden, they all gather together and they decide to leave, So it's a show off, but at the same time, um, the Rwandan army, the special forces of the Kagamistan, are now going to be the ones replacing all the mercenaries in Congo, doing the job of occupying Congo, plundering, and killing. It's like, get out of the way so we could occupy Congo, plunder, and kill even more. The mercenaries, even if there were some mercenaries in Congo, most likely that they know that the Kagamistan is a mass murderer, a mass killer, a genocidaire who has been killing Congolese people in millions for years. So if he calls them and tells them, hey, I'm about to genocide y'all, you know, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? And on top of that, oh, you are double agents. You are working for all of us. So I'm telling you that this is your cue right now. Come through Rwanda, make us look safe and good. Make the country which is invading Congo, plundering Congo, killing millions, make that country look safe by surrendering to it. Come through Rwanda. But Rwanda is the main problem in Congo. I have seen people talk about the Congolese leadership and the size of Rwanda versus Congo, but all that is irrelevant because, my people, what does it matter the size of a country? The only thing that matters is the determination and the mentality of the person in leadership in that country, so they can decide to invade our fellow Africans and plunder and kill. This is what has happened. This is the main issue. Before we even talk about the leadership in Congo, we need to realize that the Kagamistan in Rwanda has volunteered to collaborate with the destroyers, the colonizers, the enslavers, and to cross into Congo under all kinds of excuses that cannot be explained and cannot be excused, and to plunder, to kill the Congolese people, and then turn around and try to victimize itself, and then try around and try to portray itself as safe. That's why they surrender. That's why they go to the UK and tell the UK people, oh, Rwanda is safe. Bring your refugees to Rwanda. Fake, fake. Show off, show. Everywhere, manipulation, lies to make themselves appear bigger than they are. Because really, this staging huge operation is actually a demonstration of weakness on behalf of the Kagamistan, because even if they were paying some of those mercenaries in Congo, they can't afford to pay them anymore. Now they need to send in the Rwandan forces. And on top of that, for them to deploy huge forces like that, they expose themselves now that it's the Kagamistan in Rwanda supporting the killers and the destroyers in Congo. And so everybody can see it. So, but I think at the same time, since Rwanda is supported by the international uh, criminal lovers, let's call them that, all these regimes, all these regimes in the UK, USA, Canada, Europe, who are supporting the madness of the criminal dictatorship in the Kagamistan, all these regimes who have been collaborating with the Kagamistan in Rwanda, helping it, supporting it. You know, I think now you've seen the UK talking about they want to cut aid to Rwanda. Is that what they said? Let me go back to Twitter, X Twitter, and see this. You see this? UK threatens Rwanda with sanctions. This person was posting, talking about long overdue. Hmm. UK has been wasting its own taxpayers' money, sponsoring the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda, going into all kinds of scams with the regime in Rwanda, trying to wash away its crimes, taking money from the regime to advertise Visit Rwanda. The UK is complicit alongside with the Kagamistan, and they are complicit and they are responsible for the crimes and the genocide being committed against the Congolese people in Congo because they sponsor the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. So I'm going to end the English section of this show talking about, please boycott Rwanda. Boycott the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. Don't be out here talking about sanctions. Yeah, do the sanctions, cut the aid. Trump has cut the aid. I love it. I love it. I love it. Cut the aid. All these tiny little countries who are much poorer than all these African countries, but they sponsor criminal dictatorships so that they can take over you by force, so they can just be plundering, taking over by force, and then um, benefit from the plundering. Instead of allowing the Congo to live in peace and then to do some fair trade, to be able to exploit its own resources in peace so that they can trade fairly and not use slave labor. These international criminal lovers, they do everything to support these criminal regimes in Africa, such as the Kagamistan in Rwanda, and now they are exposing themselves. They have exposed themselves. So all of us, lovers of truth and freedom and all these beautiful ideals, peace, justice, we need to sanction and boycott the Kagamistan in Rwanda. That's the bottom line. That's where it starts. I saw Trump commenting a little bit about it. Let me go see if I can find the video. Even Marine Le Pen was talking about stop supporting Rwanda, stop supporting Rwanda. These are the three axis of evil in the Great Lakes. You have the Kagamistan in Rwanda. You have the Godfather Museveni in Uganda and his son Muhozi. And then you have their cousin Ruto in Kenya. These are the three great evils of the Great Lakes who are causing so much pain. You can see the Kenyans campaign online. You can see Rwandans. You can see Ugandans. But of course, Kenyans are the best. We should all actually be colonized by Kenya. Why not? Instead of being colonized by all these non-African entities. So I salute everyone who has been speaking. I think the Kagamistan has fallen into a sort of a trap, actually, like the trap of how. Ooh, see, this is where Trump was talking about it. Okay, this is the part where I'm about to speak to His Excellency President Trump. Oh my goodness, congratulations on your election, re-election. The American people are so lucky to have a president who promises things and then he gets into office and on day one, in front of the whole world, he start doing the very things that he had promised that he would do. Oh, I am so jealous of Trump. All right, so as a Canadian, as your best neighbor, the bestest neighbor in the history of neighbors, Canada, USA, right? You've been asking Canada to be part of the USA, right? I think a lot of Canadians may be supporting that. I think they may. I think they may. I think we should start the conversation. I have tips on how you could encourage Canadians to become Americans, slowly but surely. How about eliminating visas and all those things for Canadian citizens, such as U&I Talk Show, to come to the USA and, bring our businesses in the USA? How about eliminating all those visa requirements and all this and that? And you tell the Canadian entrepreneurs, businesses, and all Canadian people, citizens, and you tell us that you could come to the USA and you'll be treated like an American. Just respect the law as an American. And this is the Canadian American advantage, privilege, special relationship. How about that? I'm telling you, you would definitely be starting to make Canada the 51st state, as you've been saying. Now, about Rwanda, because they asked President Trump a question about Rwanda. So let's hear what he had to say. Let's hear what he had to say. Thank you to the person who asked, by the way.
The situation in the Democratic Republic of the Congo is getting worse, even though President John Lorenzo has been mediating the conflict between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of the Congo because he wants to bring peace and stability. The situation is really bad right now. I want to hear from Mr. President if you have any plan in the future to bring peace in the
Well, you
Democratic
asked me a
Republic.
question about Rwanda, and it is a very serious problem. I agree, but I don't think it's appropriate right now to talk about it. But it is a very serious problem. Please go ahead.
All right. So you can see that they asked a question to Trump about the situation between Rwanda and Congo. Now let's show this map so people can even see the issue right here, right? So they asked Trump about the situation between Rwanda and Congo, and he says, yes, it's a serious thing, but not the right time to talk about it. All right. So since I'm talking about it, Mr. Trump, on top of being Canadian, I also happen to be from Rwanda, born in Rwanda, came to Canada as a refugee. running away from the madness of a criminal dictatorship that has taken an entire nation as hostages, imposes a criminal dictatorship that kills, jails, exiles anyone who can think, anyone who is smart, anyone who is intelligent, a criminal dictatorship that just wants slaves, that has enslaved an entire nation, a criminal dictatorship that is at war in Congo right now. This criminal dictatorship was actually supported to come into power. They were rebels. They invaded Rwanda from Uganda in 1990, and they ended up causing a genocide in 1994 by assassinating two African presidents, the president of Rwanda and the president of Burundi. And then they caused a genocide and took over through war, fire, blood. Some of their supporters were actually the United States, the UK, Canada, and others. And some of those people who supported them in the United States were the Democrats. Guess who was in power supporting these criminals to come into power? The Clintons. Mm, 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 mm. So, Mr. Trump, the Republican president, so loved by so many people, including you and I up here in Canada, we want you to not support the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda and allow Africans, Rwandans to also enjoy democracy. I want to tell you that we also love democracy and we would also love to see our nation ruled democratically. And but for that to happen, we need for the USA to end its support to Rwanda and the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan. You have a huge interest in ending this support and rather supporting freedom and peace and democracy in Congo, the entire region, the whole continent of Africa. Let me tell you why it matters that you behave this way and that you have a better foreign policy towards Congo, towards Africa in general, because in order for the USA to continue to be great and to be great, to become great again, as you said, as you wanted, your industry of artificial intelligence and crypto and your superpower, your military industry relies on natural resources that are from Africa and most particularly Congo. You cannot become great again. You cannot become a superpower. You cannot be the leader that you want to be if you do not have peace and love from Africans in Africa, particularly the people in Congo. So it is imperative that you support Congo and Congolese people and peace and freedom for all Africans. It is imperative that you end your support to the criminal dictatorship of the Kagamistan in Rwanda. My people, please share this message with Trump. I think he will listen. I think he will listen, my people. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you very much. All right, my people. So let's move on. Let's move on. The Kagamistan has fallen into a trap. I would say that is the same trap that Saddam Hussein fell into when he invaded Kuwait, thinking that everybody would support him, right? And then he invades Kuwait and he falls into a trap, and everybody turns against him, everybody fights him, and eventually he falls. So, this is what is awaiting the Kagamistan in Rwanda. They have exposed themselves, invading Congo, massively invading Congo, heavily deploying the Rwandan army, heavily showing off that they were collaborating with the mercenaries, How could they have all their phone numbers, everybody at the same time on the same day, and warn all the medias in advance that this is what's going to happen? And then, boom, they show them to you. They expose themselves. So it's a trap for the Kagamistan in Rwanda. He may scream all he want. He may not be able to see it, but eventually time will be the best teacher. All right, my people, let's move into French and keep talking about it. Thank you very much.